back. Welcome back to episode 2 of If That Makes Sense. I'm so glad that we are here. I will not ramble. I won't give you a million and one stories. I'm just glad that you chose to watch this episode, and I hope you choose to watch the next one. So I think I'd mentioned on episode 1 that we're doing friendship this particular season and diverse aspects of friendship. And who better than to start us off than one of my sisters? And I had mentioned it on episode 1. So if you've not watched episode 1, go back there, understand what I'm talking about, and then come watch this episode. So we have Lucky on set, guys. I'm so happy. I feel like this is gonna be a very simple conversation. Hi, Han.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
You
I like
too.
your hair.
Thanks. It's come a long way. Oh,
Should we insert photos of how far it's
no, my reputation.
Anyway, I'm so glad that you decided to do this with me. Thank you.
For sure.
I know I've sent you a few of the questions. How do you feel? Do you feel like we're doing too much by exposing our friendship, or do you think, yeah, whatever?
I mean, it'll talingana na how much we are going deep into this topic.
How deep do you want to go?
We'll see.
Okay. All right. So we'll do it the same way. There'll be questions that will be read out and then given to you guys on the screen. And yeah, let's go.
I mean, we met in high school. That was 2013, 14.
14.
Yeah. So we met in high school. Yeah, we're very young kids.
And beautiful.
I mean, debatable.
I'm literally looking at one of our photos, the one me and Tam, looking all dapper.
I would disagree.
It was so weird.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, for that age, I guess we're fine.
Yeah.
What was it called?
How we met, how long we've known each other.
I mean, since 2014, that's like mads. It's like what, 10
years?
Yeah. No, that's 10. Yeah, 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
But remember, 2014 is where we met in high school, but then we got closer in 2015, 16.
Yeah, like Form 3 there.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I mean, I would see you guys. These guys were cops. These guys were cops with her sister. They were very annoying. But I think I got to know you guys because I became a cop in Form 3. I think that's when like we started like.
Lucky was a future lady, guys. Oh, I'm just
now my business is up there. You started exposing me. Yeah, I was a future lady. And then I became a cop. I think we did get close like 2016 there.
So, yes, I completely agree. My version of the story is her and my sister Tam were in the same class.
Yeah.
1K.
I have no idea.
1K, 2K, 3K, 4K. I was in G class. So she was actually much closer with Tamara, like really close. That's how I got to know her, actually. Then now, I think when we got to see you in Form 3, because now we all became part of the committee, that's when now we started interacting a lot more. Because she was chair lady, I was doing praise and worship, so you always had to keep talking. And yeah, that started a beautiful love story.
I know.
I was gonna make a joke, but let me not. Yes, so that's how we met, that's how we got close. So we've known each other 10 years, but got close since 2016.
So it's like 8 years.
Yeah, around 8 years. Lucky's primary love language, I think.
Well, it's like, do you think love language is different when it comes to like romantic relationships, and then it's different with friendships?
I do. I actually really think so. No, let me take that back. I don't. I think a love language is just either how you like to be loved or how you love other people, regardless. So I feel if it's with a romantic partner and they like gifts, whether or not we're romantically related or platonic or whatever, a love language is just a love language. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think I could be wrong, but just tell me. I think your love language is, I'm torn between gifts and quality time. Heavily leaning on quality time. Because I think you usually want us to meet, you want us to do things together, go for events together, yada yada yada. And the second question is how it's made me relate to you. I know it's a big deal when I show up for things or when I check up on, like, so last time we talked about this, how is this moving on? Or when we agree to actually hang out and we do and spend hours.
Yeah.
So I think that's your love language, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely quality time. With gifts, like, I always feel guilty when someone gets me something. I was like, you shouldn't have, you know. So yeah, it's definitely quality time. You're right about that. Okay. I think yours is quality time and words of affirmation. Because you appreciate it when like I let you know, like, oh, I really like this. Oh, your hair is looking like this today, and especially when you're like very specific, like, oh, this strand of your hair is. Okay, I'm joking. Like if you're specific, like, oh, this trouser you had today. So I think words of affirmation of like, or like, you know, your show is going really well, or, and then of course quality time because we like to sit and talk
for a while.
Yeah, and you know, just like attend things and things like that. So I think it's that.
Yeah, you're right. Words of affirmation are a big deal, and as I said, even romantically, I think it's the same thing. Because from my friends and from romantic partners, I just prefer affirmation. Is it the same for you? Quality time, even with romantic partners.
100%. Yeah. I mean, the first thing that came to mind was just God, honestly.
Agreed.
I mean, our friendship definitely started like in CU. I mean, definitely because of us, but also it was very grounded on like our relation with God and then like our relation now with us. And that's what it's been like, honestly, over the years. It's always like, even when we sit and talk, like anything we're talking about is like, yeah, what do you think God is saying about that? Or what do you think? Or like even we'll end like our yapping moment with a prayer. You know? So I definitely think it's God. I mean, friendship is not easy.
Yeah.
So I think the essence of like the presence of God in it goes a long way. So I would really say it's that. Yeah.
I completely agree. The foundation for any friendship should be God, because outside of God, then you're probably doing things that are not really pleasing Him. And sometimes I feel like we think individually we should, like our individual life should portray God, but even our friendship. Because if somebody looks at us and can see hatred and jealousy and whatever, then they're probably thinking, who are these people? So yeah, I totally agree. God is the foundation of our friendship. And it's crazy because in CU, we didn't... I feel like in high school, we actually got really serious with God. Because I was reminding Tam the other day how... You remember how after breakfast, people would literally go to the field and pray?
Bro, even after lunch,
after
would be
supper.
fasting.
Yeah, we used to fast as CU together. So I think it made us realize from a very long time ago, God really is center, you know, because these are the people who you can talk to. You feel zero judgment because you also don't feel judged around God. So it pours into your friendship.
Yeah, I agree.
How did I know I wanted to keep her around for a while? One, I think we look alike. So why would
her dad said that. It's a given, no debates about it. Like the moment the father says it, it's gone.
It's done. It's a done deal. So I think first I felt like we really looked alike.
Yeah.
And why would I want to be with someone who looks like me? Anyway, for real, I really felt her energy or your energy felt very peaceful and safe for me in high school and out of high school. Maybe a bit that we didn't mention, we actually ended up going to the same high school, same uni at some point. So we met again at Daystar, but at Daystar we were a bit removed from one another because we're on two different friend groups. But I still always felt like even if we get back to one another, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, and I think you're also so intuitive and smart. You know, I like smart people around me. So I felt like you were really intuitive and smart and so authentic. Like how you want to do things, how you want to speak, how you want to act, how you want to is not fake. And there was a phase in my life where I was feeling that pressure of becoming a totally different person, but then I'd watch you and think, she gets to be authentically herself. Why wouldn't I want that in my life? So I think that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here on this podcast today. I think for me, it's just the you know how you feel at home with someone? It just feels like I don't have to put up a show. Like, I feel like, I mean, having known me that long and known literally in everything in my life, it never feels like I have to, you know, like when I'm with Christina, I have to act a certain way, do certain things a certain way. Again, authenticity, just like you said. And also just the feeling of being accepted just as you are and loved. It goes a very long way. And I think we also really feed into each other. Like, I think we're similar in a lot of ways. So even like when we're talking, like we're just bouncing off, like you said this and I'm like, yeah, I thought the same thing. And then scripture gets in there somewhere. but I think we are like our values, our our like just the way we are is when your values and someone else's values are coming together. I mean, that's already a big thing.
Yeah.
So I like that even the way that I live my life, the way that I do my things is also kind of the way you do it. Not that we have to be similar completely, but it goes a long way because then, yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, but I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. I hear what you're saying. As you're saying that, I thought to myself, times when we were on different sides of things,
Yeah.
I think also made me realize I want you in my life, in the aspect of not feeling like we can only be friends if we're on the same page, because there are things you want to do that I'm thinking that's just not my vibe, or that probably want to be around and I'm like that's just not my vibe, and I felt like I could tell you that.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Yeah, like the recent conversation we had last time, hard conversations. I did not at any point feel like, wow, now she won't talk to me anymore. That's never crossed my mind. And for me, that's true friendship, with you and with a lot of people I'm surrounded with. The fact that I'm never scared that now they won't talk to me after we've had that conversation. Or, probably people are listening and seeing, oh yeah, we love God, so we've always lived the holy, righteous life. Well, there was a time we were doing very ungodly things, but I always felt I could tell you about it. Of course, there was a time when we weren't even calling each other out about it because we were like, this is life, this is what's going on.
Gosh,
but the moment we figured that out, we actually got back on track together.
Yeah.
And
so, it's even in the, sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
it's even in the like being aware that by then we'd gotten to a point that we weren't calling each other out. So then it's like we need to get out of the, oh, you too, oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, sisters in sin.
And then now it's like we have to get into the, we need to keep each other accountable. Like this is not how we're supposed to be going about things. And of course, what you said about having hard conversations. Honestly, some friendships are easy because there's lack of accountability, lack of emotional depth, and like hard conversations being had. And the moment those things happen, it shakes the foundation of the relationship. But that never happens. Like we do have like difficult conversations and we're still good. So I think that's definitely another one of the things.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Have I had a lot of close friends? I feel like I do know a lot of people and I do have a lot of friends, but I don't think I've had many close friends. But I wouldn't say they've all been easy to maintain. Some have definitely been difficult and some have definitely ended. But there are those that have stayed. Yeah.
Why do you think they were difficult?
I think, wow. I mean, it differs with different people. Sometimes it could be that you're now why
You want to think about it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll answer as you think about it. How many close friends have I had? I also don't think I have many, but there are definitely more than the usual. And I think the usual, like, how people have only 2-3 close friends. I can count at least, remove my sister, I think like 4 or 5 close friends. Do I find it difficult to maintain them? Not really for me. And I think it's because I like deep conversations. And if anything, I prefer deep conversations all the time. I don't mind small talk, but I like deep conversations. And sometimes I feel that's what holds some relationships together, especially tight-knit friendships. So I think having close friends is not very difficult for me. I do, however, feel, and I don't know if I shared it in episode 1, that sometimes I place somebody too highly in my life for a while, and then I start reevaluating, is this actually a close friend or just someone I like spending time with? And that comes with what I end up sharing with this person, because I found myself sharing stuff with someone and then later on we fall out and I'm thinking they didn't need to know all of that stuff. So that's the challenge now with maintaining things I think are close friendships. So the difficulty sometimes is me knowing when to rein it in and just say, let me not share this at this very moment. So I'd say that's what makes it a bit difficult.
I mean, I feel like I've had more male friends than female friends. So
And with male friends, is it easier to get deep with them, or in comparison with female friends, in your experience?
I mean, before you sit down and have a deep conversation with that with the guy about something, like the way he told you, oh, yo, it's fine, let's just let it go, like it's fine. I mean, it's the frequency of deep conversations is definitely not as much as female friendships, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's still intentionality in those friendships, and I have felt very loved in those friendships. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe it's an assumption, but do you think all friendships have to have deep conversations?
I mean, yeah, humans are deep people, man. Like we are evolving, we are changing, I don't think you can exist without deep conversations. And if you're existing without deep conversations, you're holding a lot of stuff in, or you're not being genuine or honest about something. Deep, like we are deep people, man. Like you're gonna have, I mean, the frequency definitely differs, but you're gonna have to have the hard conversations for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We had this conversation recently, our very last hangout. I'd say we were at that situation at some point where Lucky was going through something really hard and I wasn't. So you're on two very different areas. Yeah. And I think from our conversation, I realized I'd failed as a friend in a couple of ways, because it's hard to feel what the other person is feeling, like to the magnitude that they are. Like you could love someone so much, but it's just not making sense to you how much they're feeling what they're feeling. So I'd say at that point of loss and all of that, it was a bit the backstory for me is I hadn't been in a situation where somebody I know so closely has lost someone they know so closely. So it was completely new ground. And yeah, I felt like I removed myself to give space, and there were so many other things that were going on. So I can say that's something I still really apologize for. I feel I should have been there, more present, more active, more checking up and all of that stuff. A situation where one person is doing well and the other is not, I don't know if I've actively seen that yet in our friendship, but I know we'd talked about how it's gonna happen. Yeah. It's definitely going to happen, where either she's doing so well and I'm not yet where I want to be. And I think from our conversation, I felt the safety of knowing if I'm the one not where I want to be, I can always tell you. Like, I'll listen to everything that's going on. I'll be excited for you. But if I feel like it's triggering me, I feel safe enough to tell you, I'm so excited for you. But right now, it's a huge trigger because I'm questioning everything in my life. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a hard conversation to have in friendships. And I think most people would prefer to just go on without talking about that. I mean, it's easier to not be talked about, you know. But yeah, it's life. Like we are gonna be in different places. Like just because we're friends or even sisters or whatever. Like even if you're twins, you're gonna be at very different places in life, in different times in your life. So it's a very important conversation to be had, but it's not easy because then it even brings up, because something like feelings of like envy or jealousy, they exist sometimes in friendships, but it's like what you do with it or whether you talk about it. So a conversation like that brings up things like that. And then like you actually realize that at a certain point in your life, I was actually very envious of you. And this is something we've actually talked about before in our friendship. So it comes with so much honest, like even being honest with yourself
and
first,
vulnerability,
and being like, yeah, I was actually jealous of that, and just realizing it is an emotion that is very human and very real and very there. But then it's like what you do with it and what you do about it. So I think that just the mere fact that we can talk about it and be like, at this point, I'm so happy for you, but I'm at this place where I can't, like I can't reach the level of like
excitement
that you're at, or I'm feeling this way because for me currently this is what is happening, and for you this is what is happening with you. So I think for me that's the most important bit, because well, we can't really change anything else. If your life is going well and mine is at a valley, that's just what it is. If yours is at a mountain, mine is at a valley, or vice versa. That's just what it is. But the honesty of I'm happy for you, but this is who I am. I think that's it.
Yeah. Two things come to mind. One, sometimes even knowing that I don't have to explain that to you, that you're sensitive enough to see that big things are happening in your life, but because we talk enough, you know, while this is happening to me, this is what Chriso is going through. So maybe let me sieve out when I'm gonna tell you these stories, or when we're hanging out, let's see what the tone of the hangout is, so that we know what we're going to talk about. And something you mentioned about like vulnerability and being able to tell somebody that. I love that you've mentioned jealousy and envy. These are things that definitely have happened in our relationship before, and just the mere fact that you tell yourself, because we are friends, for me, it's like, at the back of my mind, I feel like people are comparing, you know? So say somebody knows you from my feed on IG, so they've seen Lucky before, so they're seeing you flying, doing well, yada, 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 and then they're like, oh, so this is Chriso's friend. So it'll be like, oh, she's doing well, but Chriso isn't doing so well. So now, for me, those are thoughts that would come to my mind, and I'd have to tell myself, people could maybe when they're not comparing.
Yeah,
you know,
honestly,
they really
they're probably
don't
just
care.
like, wow, she has different brows.
Yeah. Ooh, her locks are getting longer. Good for her. Exactly. But yeah, being able to just talk about it or say it. But it's difficult.
No, it's
because even come and tell you, yeah, I am a bit envious.
No, it's
hard.
And like for anyone who's watching this and like you're like young or something, it's a point of growth, bro. It's not like we're always like this. Like in high school, I'd come and be like, hey, by then it's definitely a point of growth, and a point of growth like first personal growth, and then now in the friendship. Because even being honest with yourself as an individual is like not the easiest thing, you know, even before you go and like be honest with someone else. So it's definitely a point of growth. It's definitely a point of like a lot of like even honesty in the friendship, and a lot of safety, of course. Because if I didn't feel safe to say those things, or you didn't feel safe to, then we wouldn't have those conversations.
True.
So
yeah. And you mentioned high school, and I remember, high school was really crazy sometimes, because one, there's a whole comparison. No, high school you were compared all the time. To your sister, to your friends. Actually, you go into the staff room and you've not done well, and you're told, you hang out with Nani, and all of them are doing well, and you are thinking, bruh, like we are not the same. Then I remember in high school we had this aspect where if you hadn't gotten a certain grade, I think it was C+, you stayed back in school for like 2 to 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
And some of us were playing around, so there's a time I remained, and it felt so bad because you're parking in the dorm with Kina Lucky and Kina everybody else, and then they leave and you stay in school and you're feeling like the stupid friend.
Those were the longest 3 days of that semester, that
term. Yeah, because it would fluctuate. This time you want to back in, next time. Because for me, it was hard sometimes because term is the same damn parents. They're coming for one person today.
I know.
And then 3 days later, they come for the other person. And there was always that envy that you would feel. And that's why I keep saying, you're literally a sister to me. Because the same way I'd talk to Tam and tell her, yeah, I may feel a bit bad because this and this is happening, I'd tell you the same thing. Yeah. So thank you for that. I love you. Have there been times there's been jealousy in our friendship? I'd say yes, definitely. I would be lying if I said no.
Yeah, it'd be lies.
Yeah, that would just be a lie. In seasons, definitely when we were in different phases of life. So, for example, when Lucky, I've had very troublesome relationships with boys. So there were times I felt like, Fred, why are you laughing? Anyway, so there were times I'd feel, and again, we had this conversation. There are times I'd feel jealous of the attention Lucky is giving someone else, in terms of, I'm the one you used to hang out and do these things with, and now this brother has shown up, and now we're not spending time together. And it's recently she reminded me of it, because it had gone to the back of my mind. So I feel like that happened. Jealousy even in terms of her growing. And it wasn't jealousy like, gosh, I pray she fails so that we come back to this level. No. But especially after campus, I feel like things opened up for you in such an awesome way. And I kept thinking to myself, oof, am I ever going to get there? Great things are happening in her life. Great things are not happening in my life. I wish that was happening. So now I don't know if it's just jealousy or envy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd call it envy, because I feel like jealousy runs deep. Jealousy is you, at some point, don't want the best for this person. and I don't think I've been there before.
Yeah, I think
That's my definition.
I mean, we'll look
of
it up.
jealousy. Yeah, we'll look it up.
Yeah.
But I think for me, jealousy is like, see, akufe tu. Like, see, all these just ishas, you know.
Yeah.
But envy, I'd say envy has happened before. And it could even be in the smallest things. Let's say your hair. Okay, but that's not the truth right now. Because I feel like we started our lock journeys around the same time. Yeah. So it could be easy for like seeing you doing this, looking so good. And then I'm like, yeah, I wish I could do the same thing. Yeah. So I'd say there has been envy. Envy is the word I'm going to use. Yeah. Don't say no because I'm going to feel like a bad person.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been there, guys.
Yeah,
it's been there. Very lively there, you know. I mean, lightly speaking on it, it's definitely from my side being the kind of different family settings that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely lightly getting into it. And it's a conversation that was very needed for our friendship. I think that's why the whole thing of like how we could be on different places in life, like that's why the conversation started. Because when we talk about now the family setting, this is like dating back to like high school, you know. So it was a very difficult conversation to have, and to just be like, yeah, like, you know, we can't all be the same, you know, we're different in this and this way. So I think for me, it's definitely been in that aspect. And we have like talked about it multiple times. It's been like, you know, like working through it. So it's there, but it just depends on what you're going to do about it and how you handle it.
And it really helps to give a foundation of even our conversations. You know, that there's a reason I see things this way and you see things this way. There's a reason I view people this way and you view people this way. So yeah, you'd done something where you talked to the camera, to the younger generation. I think a very important thing is make sure you also know the background of your friend deeply, because there are things you could end up saying or doing and it throws you two off and you're wondering, where did that come from? But kumbe, we were just raised so differently. That's not how life has been for me or for you. Or there's an independence someone has and you're thinking, why can't I be like that? But kumbe, there are things around that you probably just don't know from their background.
And I think another thing I'd add is like when you're giving someone new, like exciting news about something that has happened, now it could be reversed in that if they're not as happy for you, now you're thinking they're jealous or they're envious. But if you understand that, because it's something that I struggled with, to be honest, because like after uni and all these things are happening, like I'm getting jobs, and I would constantly want to call like all my friends and be like, yo, this happened. And there was like a couple of times, like 2-3 friends were not at the excitement that I was at. In my head, I'm thinking,
are you not happy
so you're not my friend.
Fake friends.
You know, and I had to sit back and really think, maybe that person was having a bad day. Maybe their dress got caught on a nail.
Outfit just didn't fit.
It could be anything, you know. So honestly, that has been a game changer for me, because then I either know when to, like, I don't like ask, yo, how's your day going, before I like break the news or something, or even just rest in knowing maybe the person wasn't having a good day when I was telling them. That used to bother me. So even knowing that, I think, is a great thing. It eases like the pressure on. It eases like a bit of pressure on the friendships, because then I know Christine's having a difficult week, so I can't call her and tell her, yo, I'm going to
Malaysia tomorrow.
I mean, I can't call you and tell you that, and you will be happy for me, but the level of you probably will not get to the level of excitement that I'm on, and that's okay. At the baseline is just conversation, like, yo, this is happening. I'm happy for you, but this is what is happening right now. I can call you tomorrow, and then we can both
be excited at the same time. And I think something precious I also like that we ended up doing is sometimes when you call, you ask if I'm in the headspace to hear this and this, or are you in the headspace for a rant, or I want to rant, or I want to. I just loved that would happen. So sometimes either you'd call and tell me you're having a really hard day, am I in the headspace? Because, you know, vice versa could be happening. You're having a hard day, but I'm having the best day of my life. I've literally just found a kitten. And then you tell me, this and this is happening. There's a safety in knowing you can call your friend and ask them, are you in that headspace? But sometimes, not all the time. Because sometimes I just need to say what I need to say. You'll figure out. So it's complex, but it's nice. Oh
Well.
God.
Okay, you go
Wow.
first.
Yeah, you go first.
No, you go first.
No, I've been going first the entire time.
I mean, of course.
What? Of course.
Yeah, like sometimes I've sat and thought, like, Christine, what are you doing? What are you thinking? You know, or like just
I don't like that
certain,
the camera people are
certain
laughing.
and just thought. I mean, we could assess that, Christine. We could sit and really look at, the train of thought. I mean, not to say that you're, that you make bad decisions with men. I mean, we've all been with people where we've like our friends have been like, Akini,
who you?
as long as you're happy,
Yeah. Bora.
But I wouldn't say that I disliked them. Honestly, I don't know them enough to dislike them. Like,
Okay.
I only know them from your perspective.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I hate this person because of this. But it would be like from your stories, then I'd be like, I just don't think you should be there. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening, sweetie? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I also do think that people, again, based on your stories, and for context, I feel like you've met almost everybody I've been with, dated. I've not met most of the people you've been with, maybe because of there's spaces in which we end up meeting these people. So for you, you'd meet them if it's in school or whatever. I can't come there and you're like, oh yeah, that's Nani. So yeah, there are people I just felt from the get-go, I was like, you deserve so much more than what this person is giving you. Or I just think they just don't look like your type. So I'm like, hey, it's changing, so I don't know. I don't know. But for me, it was often how they made you feel. Because like you've said, I'm getting from your point of view. So even when you'd be with them and then mnaachana alafu mnarudiana alafu, I was always just telling myself, I don't like this person because of what they're doing to you, but okay, let's just see how it will move from there on. And maybe the question I could ask is, do you think we date sometimes subconsciously? Do we think as we're thinking of the people we want to date or the people we want to be with, you're also assessing them from your friend's point of view? Like, would my friends approve of this person? Even physically.
I mean, physically, you think about it.
Yeah,
before they tell you, as long as you're
this.
happy. But I think in terms of who they are as a person, I think about like my values, and I think I don't think I've thought about like what would my friends think, because if this person aligns with my values, my friends would approve.
Yes, 100%.
Now I think sometimes you just think about it like physically, but not like in values wise. It's just like if they align with my values, then there's no way they won't align with my friends' values, because the friends that I have align with my values as well. Yeah.
And then people you've on purpose not brought before your friends because you don't think they'd approve of them physically.
Have I done that?
Think about it. Or you just felt you don't know if they'll gel so well with your friends?
I think both actually. Maybe I've done that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I have. Have you?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I think it was just a person I was not physically fast, the gelling part. I was just like, this one, if he comes around my friends, they're gonna be fires being lit up around here. Maybe because of ego or because of conversation, because of physically, I don't think so. But I don't know if you remember, there's somebody I had told you a while back. I'm not sure I'm particularly into them physically, and that's why I avoided having them around so much.
Now they'll all shuku themselves.
I know. Guys, it could be you. Is it
Could
you?
be
Are you the
anyone.
one? Yeah. But yeah, so I'd say also physically, I'd be lying if I didn't say sometimes when I am with someone, I keep thinking, are you someone I would bring before the friends? You know? Yeah, because there are people. Anyway, we'll talk about my group of friends and how radical their comments can be.
Oh yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah, because again, you want that safety, but you want the truth. You know, you want the truth. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
But I don't think it should be center of your decision making.
Yeah. Oh no,
at
definitely.
all.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's you and this person. That's
At
what
the end of the day,
at the
bro.
end, literally at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're going home when you marry them to be with them. So everyone else could be meeting them once in a while, but then I think I really value what my friends think too. But we're growing. We'll see how things go.
Yeah, we'll see how they unfold. Like where we're like going back and forth, like no. I mean, I don't think it was I think it was a disagreement. Actually, it was a reason.
Yes, on a Java. Yeah, I was just like, I remember calling. What was it? I think sometimes she was like, I think I had my first fight with Lucky.
I mean, we've disagreed before, but we've never gone like
that kind of emotional.
It wasn't like fighting. Like you had a very different opinion on something, and mine was like completely different.
No, and we were both so convinced of what we wanted to talk about.
Yeah. And I remember like even telling you, no, you're not communicating, you're attacking me.
Yeah, and I kept telling you, no, you're being defensive. You're just being defensive.
That one. And then we had to sit there in Java and the lady was serving, and then now when she left, you were like, okay, so are we going back to this?
Yeah,
or
should
like,
we talk about
anyway,
it?
the weather is nice today.
Yeah, I like Java. The cake of the month is blueberry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I like that at some point we actually talked about it.
Yeah.
And just agreed to disagree.
Yeah.
Like, this is just where you are on things, and this is just where I am on things. Maybe one day we'll share that conversation. About what it was. But yeah, storyline, just without really mentioning what exactly it was. We'd gone to a show together. Was it the day for Londautero? Yeah, we'd gone to Londautero, the play together. Then on our way back, there was just something happened, and then we had the conversation. Did you even start in the cab? After the cab?
In the cab, and then when we went to buy donuts, the lady was like looking at us like,
yeah, because we literally went.
You guys, like, should have to stop, and then she'd be like, guys,
pay.
What donuts?
Yeah, what flavor do you want? So we tell her, and then we go back and we're like, yeah, but you see, and back even the M-Pesa message. I think she didn't want to cut in, so she was just respectful about it. That was something.
It was intense,
It was, but I felt, again, the safety that, you know what, it happens. And they're probably going to be, maybe that's why God allowed it to happen at that time. Because he was like, y'all are not, you've not yet gotten into each other like that. And maybe there are bigger things coming in life where we're going to disagree on much more fundamental things, you know, because partners are going to come in, family is going to come in. There's a way I may want to do things and you don't. And if we've never quite fought, how are we going to have that
navigate it?
So that was interesting. You go first.
Wow. When do I even ever call it Christine? Anyway, do I? Okay. What would I want to say? I mean, this is a friendship that I treasure a lot.
Me too.
And like I'm so grateful that I get to have this. Everyone should really have a friendship like this.
For sure.
You know, and I'm glad that you know me. I've always felt like to be known and to be understood is to be loved.
It is.
So the fact that you know me and like you know like my whole life, like my whole backstory, my whole, how I handle things like that. And you still like accept me like that, and we still have a friendship. Even like Atakama, we are so different. We are still able to come together and do that. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm also grateful that we are able to, when you're walking with God, it's very crucial to have people close to you who are on the same walk. So that's something that I am actually always grateful for. Because if you're trying to, because guys, the walk with God is it's difficult. It's difficult.
It gets hard sometimes.
It's a whole different ball game. So having someone like even your age who's doing the work with you, it's like you guys can sit and be like, by the I'm struggling with this.
And I'm like,
yes, you'll be like, me too, but then you won't feel so like alone in that, and both of you can now like work together towards it and keep each other accountable, because that's even the most important thing in that. So I think I really appreciate that we're able to talk, like when you want to talk about the goodness of God and nini
without
and
feeling like
you're overdoing or you're geeking or
and
you have people around you who get that, and you're like, oh my gosh, like God is so good, like nini and you have a close friend who gets that and you're doing that work with. I think that's truly one of the things that I really appreciate.
It's precious.
I love the sisterhood.
Yeah, me too, so much. You've mentioned even being so close in age. Another really interesting thing is we're literally a week apart in terms of our birthdays. So that was also so wild. Like so many. I was literally telling her the sweater she's wearing. I have the exact same sweater at home.
And we didn't buy it at the same time.
We didn't buy it at the same time. And yesterday she was in a leather jacket. I was miles away in a leather jacket. So I do think it's a sisterhood. You are literally my sister. And I'll start with our foundation in God. I love that you have your own personal relationship with God. I've never felt like either one of us has to be more spiritually aware for the other. And it's okay if that happens in a friendship, but I feel like we're aware of, I never have to question, am I doing the right thing or should I do the right thing because I need to learn the lesson so that I can teach Lucky the lesson. Sometimes that can be heavy in a relationship where you're like, I need to do things right because my friend may also need me to. And I love that we are kind of at par in that same situation. I also love you so much because I think you're so amazing. You're so fun to be around. The fact that I know we can go somewhere, sit and have conversations moving from career, moving to life and relationships and God, and it never feels strained.
We usually schedule it, by the way, guys. We're like, okay, now let's go into career.
Let's talk about this.
How are you spiritually? Okay, good. Now let's get into emotionally. I think I usually find that funny, but it helps.
It's cool. And for me, I started that system even for myself with my stuff because I realized I could talk about one thing for so long, you don't realize there are other things to focus on. And maybe that even segues into our friendship. I like that our friendship is not based on always talking about our relationship with boys. Because I've been in enough friendships where that's all we're talking about, or we're always talking about our career, or we can talk about so many things. So I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, the way you know me and understand me is also so wild that I could be doing something, I'm convincing myself of the wrong thing. Sometimes you'll just let me move with it and then bring me back to it. So I am so grateful for our friendship. I can't wait to see how we look when we're older.
Yeah, we've been saying that for very long. I mean, we said that like what? 6 years ago. Now we are older.
Yeah, okay, 30. I can't wait to see us at 30. So I am so grateful for this sisterhood. Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you so much for watching. And there's something I saw on the Joyride podcast where they tell you to also work on, maybe ask each other the same questions with your friends. Shout out to the Joyride. Love you guys so much and I watch you all the time. So you could do the same thing. Have a conversation with your friend. See how things are functioning. But don't worry, we'll also have more conversations with people who are not maybe as deep in their friendship, like surface level friends, how that dynamic probably looks. But yeah, that's that. See you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.